Kia ora, greetings from Carey. I'm John Tucker, Principal of the college, and it's nearly 6 months to the day that I was appointed to this role. So I thought I would take the opportunity with this monthly newsletter to share some of my reflections on the last 6 months here at Carey. First of all, this last semester has seen the development of 2 new leadership training programs here at Carey. Both of them I think really exciting. The first is our Ethnic Ministry program, where we provide evening classes for immigrant pastors and leaders from around the world. We've got students in our class from Ethiopia, China, Japan, Korea, Cambodia, Myanmar and the Philippines, just to name a few of the countries. The other key initiative has been our missional community track, where we're providing training for leaders in the art of planting new gospel-shaped neighbourhood missional communities. And we're doing this in intentional living hubs in Christchurch and in Auckland. And I think both of these initiatives are really exciting. When you think about the changing landscape of Aotearoa, the decline of traditional churches, the rise and growth of immigrant churches, and new expressions of church, new missional forms of community springing up in neighbourhoods, I think both of these initiatives are really strategic, and it's just so encouraging to see them taking root this year. We're always looking for new ways to resource the church in ministry and mission, and one of the recent developments this semester has been a new diploma that we are developing. We're trying to do something with this diploma that will allow churches to train pastors and leaders in specialised ministry roles without having to send them to Auckland. So it's a 1-year program. It can be studied part-time, full-time. But the idea is that it combines academic and practical training on-site, church-based training. It'll be perfect for children's and family pastors, worship leaders, anyone particularly in a part-time ministry role in a church where they don't want to do a 3-year full-time degree program, but they definitely sense the need for some ministry and theology training on-site in their church. Our graduation last month was a real highlight. It just impressed upon me how diverse Carey has become as a community. Nearly half our students come from outside the Baptist movement. Something like 25% of our graduating students are now Māori, Pacifica or Chinese. And that doesn't include, of course, all the other ethnicities in our college. So denominationally and culturally, ethnically, we've become an increasingly diverse, rich community. In terms of teaching, this year, our first semester, we've hosted some really interesting and I think quite outstanding block courses. I think of Mick and Ruby Duncan teaching a course on reaching your neighbourhood, Alan Jamieson on missional leadership, and this coming semester we've got Mark Griffiths from St Patton's in Cardiff teaching on children's ministry. I love the way Carey integrates the best of academic research with the practices and challenges of ministry and mission today, and I think you see that best in our lecturers, the way they're serious scholars but they're also experienced practitioners. And then finally, I've just been absolutely thrilled to see the way Carey's Centre for Lifelong Learning has been developing under the leadership of Dr. Mike Crudge. The centre provides a growing range of professional development options for Christian leaders in churches and in other ministry settings. We've got a growing suite of low-intensity guided learning options, and they're becoming increasingly popular. But alongside that, we have got a number of training days, seminars, workshops that we're offering in churches around the country. And on that note, I think of an event coming up next week on the 24th, 25th and 26th of May in Auckland, in Wellington and Dunedin. It's a preaching seminar called Word and World with Dr. Paul Windsor, who used to be a principal of this college and who's now the director of Langham Preaching International. All effective preaching has 2 attributes. It's faithful to the scriptures and it's sensitive to culture. And Paul, I think, more than anyone to emerge in New Zealand in the last 30 or 40 years, teaches how to do both of those things brilliantly well. So it's a real privilege to have Paul with us, and I hope if you're preaching or you're cultivating a team of preachers that you might be able to get along to this event with some emerging preachers from your church. Let me finish with a prayer that I prayed over our graduating students at our recent graduation ceremony. It goes like this. I pray that wherever God leads you, you would continue your journey of learning about God's Word, God's work, and God's world. Not just collecting information, but integrating this knowledge, so that you might lead in the transformation and renewal of churches, communities, and cities. Whatever your context, I pray that it may be so.